Hey guys, it's Melody Meadows here, back with another character catalog. Today, we're doing Kai Monteago and his original story written by Obelisk, who left back in 2021. My goal with these videos is to present everything I read in the document as I go in a clear and understandable manner so that those who read the doc and still don't understand can listen to these and hopefully get a better understanding. Now, before we get into this video, I just want to preface with something. I don't particularly like what Obelisk was doing with the story of Kai in his original draft. I much rather prefer the angle they were going for in the game. And with that said, I just want to say that while I do think that some of the stuff Obelisk wrote is actually good, and I'm glad they kept at least some of the stories in the game, I don't agree with him either. Some of the stuff he wrote just... I don't know how to explain it. Everybody says, oh, he's pretentious, and, it's pretentious and, high and mighty at times, but it's not just that I'm getting. I don't know how to explain it, but it just gives me this urge to pull away. You know what I'm saying? While Taco and Saze, what they did is absolutely disgusting, completely and utterly, Obelisk is not innocent either. I don't agree with any of them, in my opinion. You can let me know your opinion in the comments, but aside from him just feeling pretentious at times, he just gives me this urge to pull away. Just this urge to pull away. And that is the case with this story. With that being said, let's go into the Project Eden's Garden character catalog. Episode 14. The Redemption of Kai Monteago. Kai was not a conventionally attractive person in the original story. He was picked on a lot because of this. But one day he decided to do a personality shift. He dyed his hair pink, adopted a new wardrobe, and adopted a new style akin to the modern day influencers. Through this new personality and his cult following, Kai began to develop a very high ego. He began using his fans and sending them out in order to cancel people he did not like. Yeah, what Obelisk said is that he was hoping that throughout the Killing Game story, Kai would go through a complete redemption similar to Fuyuhiko. Become a nicer person. Yeah, that's it. That's all he was planning for Kai's character, just shitty influencer who uses fans to get ahead and then goes through a complete redemption. And while that isn't a bad story, especially if handled in the right hands, knowing who Kai was supposed to be from Chapter 0 and Chapter 1, this is a story I'm glad they changed. I'm glad they changed his story. I'm glad they changed his personality. He feels more human in the game than he does in Obelisk's original draft here. And while, again, I do not side with Obelisk by any means, either, I want to say this. What Taco and Saze did, absolutely butchering any of the stories he created, which in some cases was that okay, but in the case of Desmond especially, you absolutely butchered this man's story. And why? Because you found him impossible to work with. That's it. You did not jam with this guy, which I can understand, but butchering his whole story just because of that is not okay. And especially in the case of Desmond, because like I said in Desmond's video where I explained his original story, Desmond was inspired by a friend of Obelisk who went through a lot of mental struggles and lost his life because of them. And what Taco and Saze did to him, knowing this is not okay. And all just because you were petty. So yeah, I may not agree with Obelisk, but entirely butchering a whole story that he was working on with you on. And completely ruining a character that was supposed to be in honor of a real-life person they knew, respected, and loved. That is just genuinely disgusting behavior. But yeah, that is going to be it for this video. I would like to remind everyone again, please remember to sign the petition against FAZA to blacklist him from the Indonesian industry that continuously hires him for voice acting. He cannot continue to voice act with what he has done to that poor child. We need to make sure he can never touch another child again under any circumstances. So yes, please remember to go and sign the petition. But that is going to be it for this video. Thank you for listening. Much love. Goodbye.